the Insurance Brokers Podcast Bite Size. Here we share the best bits from all of our interviewees on the Insurance Brokers Podcast. I've got a really silly question. How does your phone track your driving behaviour?
So your phone has a number of sensors. And so the data is great. It is there. All you need to do is to grant permission to the right providers as a consumer that you trust. So before we track anything, we ask you for your permission for every single data that we're going to use. And we try to explain it to the users and customers as well, why we're gathering this data, why it is important for our app to function, to be able to track the data in the background. And we think it's a good exchange because most customers as an alternative, have the black box devices. It's quite intrusive. It's an external device in your vehicle. It's not a great feeling for most customers. And it's a hassle. So granting us some permissions, which we're going to, use very carefully, we think is a good value exchange with our customers.
I'm interested that this is giving me an option. I can give permissions and I will ultimately benefit because you're able to read presumably things like how often I drive, how fast I drive, whether I pick my phone up when I drive, whether I text when I drive, whether I take phone calls when I drive, whether I have to do a lot of hard braking. Presumably you can collect all of that type of data, which is very, very personalized and is absolutely on the front end of where all these conversations across lots of different products are going.
Absolutely right. So every single piece of data that we collect is built into the bread and butter of our proposition. So we use the data to give something back to the customer. Number one, we give them feedback on how they drive. We show them their score, in all of the different angles that you mentioned in terms of, using the phone, acceleration, braking, speed. There are, I think, 4 or 5 different scores that we provide to the customers, including their green score, how environmental friendly they drive. And we incentivize them for their good driving as well. So we have a rewards scheme. We call it Acorn scheme. So you get acorns for your good driving, and you can then, cash out. You can use your acorns for discounts or vouchers. So the first element is that incentivization. The second element is the customer engagement. We use the data to build the app, which is very engaging for customers as well. And it's very transparent. We show you your driving score in different areas. We give you tips on how to improve specific elements of your driving. So you're absolutely right. I think customers are open to share their data if there is a good value exchange for them. And by value exchange, I don't mean just price. Yes, price is important. But for a case like ours, where everything is built around that data, I think there's a very good reason for collecting the data.
If you've enjoyed this, please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.